Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Maple Mondays IQI Canada evening talks. My name is Yusuf Iqbal, country head of Jawai IQI Canada. And as always, my guest for Maple Mondays is none other than Mr. Haroon Anwar. Good evening to you. How are you doing, Haroon?
Good evening, Yusuf. I'm excited to be here. What a fabulous topic you have chosen for today. Thank you for
Yeah,
inviting me.
no, thank you for coming. The topic is really good. Before that, I'd like to wish a happy March to everyone. And also, this is going to be the day after tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be the International Women's Day. So happy
Yes,
International Women's Day as well.
yes, congratulations to all the wonderful women who have made our life better, who have made our life exciting, and we wish them very best. I think
Absolutely. And
life is more colorful because of these wonderful women.
yes, absolutely. And do watch our special episode on Women's International Day. Will be live at around 6 p.m. Toronto time. We have a lot of powerful uh, women and ladies lined up at IQI who will be coming and sharing the experience and talking about the International Women's Day. So, talking
Fabulous.
about our coming back to our topic, Haroon, very very interesting topic which I was which we should discuss. Something which has changed people's life altogether. Something I would say that 20 years ago or 10 years ago, even 15 years ago was totally not possible. But today, the reach and the connectivity has created quite well, which is social media. So,
Right.
so let's talk a little bit about the social media and the significance of social media. What do you think about that?
Well, you're absolutely right. Social media has completely changed the landscape of how people engage, how they get their information, how they interact. And it's not too long ago, I would say early 2000, when social media started to come to scene and Facebook became prominent. Actually, things started much earlier. For some of us who remember those days, and my gray hair is a positive. So we had things like MySpace and
Yeah,
Friendster and even bulletin board systems even before that. But
that's right.
now the significance is that Facebook has changed the game. It has created a whole new industry. Google with YouTube, Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram. I mean, I can go on, and there are 20, 30 major social platforms now that have different type of audiences catering to different type of demographics to come in and engage and interact. The whole wide space has opened up to so many new possibilities that I guess we could not even have visualized what the world would look like. And it's constantly evolving.
Yeah,
Okay. So you mentioned about users. So one of the criteria for measuring is monthly active users, right?
yes.
So social medias look at how many monthly active users are there. And if we look at the worldwide population of 7 billion, okay,
Wow.
estimated worldwide
Yeah,
population, 7
yeah.
billion. And Facebook claims that there are 2 billion
Wow,
active
amazing.
Facebook users, right? Can you
That,
imagine
that's
what
that's
is a
that's a huge connectivity. 2 billion active users using social media, like Facebook by itself.
correct? I mean, that's the number they claimed, right? So
Wow.
2 billion, and they measure it. So now you can imagine the reach on this platform to desired communities, to desired individuals on what it can do for them. And of course, then Instagram has its own numbers, which are slightly lower. Twitter has its own numbers. So there's a whole, but Facebook among them is still the dominant player.
Very, very, very nice. You said that about the Facebook because just to track back when Facebook was launched, I have got in connection with so many of my school friends. Again, we come from that era where when once the school was over, you would have their personal numbers or even I would say that email addresses was there as well, but you would not get so connected too easily. But when the Facebook came in, you started searching for your friends, and I was able to search some of my friends from my school days. They were my grade fifth friends, which I got connected with them through social media, through Facebook by putting up their name and getting connected with them, which is a huge connectivity.
Absolutely. So what has that connectivity done for us? Now you can share your life experiences, no matter where you are in the world.
Yeah,
Whatever
true.
you're experiencing, your happy moments, your joyous moments, your challenges, you are able to share with this entire community of your global friends. And this is what is bringing the world closer together. Yes, there is a lot of information that says, well, social media has some negative effects. Well, I
Yes,
concede that there are sometimes issues if not done properly, but then it's true for everything.
that's
Anything we
true.
mismanage in life can create a problem. Okay,
That's
so
true.
let's
That's
not
true.
single out social media as the only reason. People can jealous of other people just because they're neighbors and they have a brand new car. That can get them jealous. Okay,
That's
so
right.
just
That's
seeing
right.
someone else's vacation pictures on social media does not make social media bad. It's
That's
the
true.
individual's reaction to it. Okay,
Yes, absolutely.
so social media is as a whole has, I believe, brought more enrichment
Yes,
into lives of individuals, as it has made it possible for us to interact, exchange, publish, share, and also find people with shared interests.
that's right.
Okay,
That's
so
right.
you are bringing and building these virtual communities together.
Yeah,
People who want to learn the language, they can be a part of that community. People who want to learn how to cook a certain type of cuisine can be
yeah,
part of that community.
yeah.
So there's a whole lot of possibilities that exist.
And also, just to add to what you're saying, Harun, is it's from the people's perspective of advertising on social media or marketing yourself on social media in terms of, again, if you are really good in cooking, you want to share those recipes. If I don't know how to cook as well, I want to go and see and find out different recipes which I could follow and follow the people on that. And I think the social media has also created the followers. Now Facebook is one platform. The other platforms, as you were talking about, the Instagram, TikTok. TikTok has got viral, man, for last couple of years, 3 years. I would say that TikTok now you see like a lot of people on TikTok, Snapchat again, and then it also comes down some or the other to the demographics as well. Who is using what kind of social media? By far, as you rightly said, actively, I think Facebook is one of these the most active social media in terms of connecting to 2 billion people.
Well, yes. So monthly user activity or active users is a key indicator. You are right. And TikTok is the fastest growing among
Yes.
the social media platforms, with the demographics predominantly looking at our generation Y, millennials, etc., the younger lot.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and the short video clips, the way they're able to communicate and share. A lot of people spend their spare time, quote unquote, spare time, on watching this content.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, and
That's
the
right.
algorithms are built to show you that content
Yeah.
that you find more enjoyable. So there are many metrics, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, about views being primarily,
Yeah.
even if you have
Yeah.
spent few seconds looking at something or you
That's right.
paused at something,
Yeah.
counts as a view. Then on top of that, if you like, love, or whatever you have indicated as your applause to it,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's your engagement. And then of course, if you have shared the content, subscribed to it, that even shows even a higher level of engagement on that one. And
That's
this is the kind of content sharing that is bringing in the level of engagement from users and content producers, motivating them to do more and more. So I mean, I could not have imagined this thing. Oh, YouTubers are celebrities now.
yes. Yes.
They
Yes.
produce their own content, they market it, they generate income out of it, and now they have become celebrities.
Very interesting when you said about the number of viewers and the content which you're sharing. It also gives you an analytic tool where you can analyze and see that how your social media is getting effective as well. So one way of social media is basically, yes, the connectivity, connecting with your friends and doing it, but then people using it professionally and in terms of marketing themselves are able to analyze with the views, which you rightly said, that how many people have actually viewed it. What kind of target audience are you looking at? on that. For example, for a specific product, when you start marketing, the interest level which you rightly mentioned, for example, if I have an interest in real estate, you have an interest in real estate, the algorithm automatically gets us connected. So I am on Facebook looking at anything from related to real estate. Automatically, if I like a few things, I can see that popping up on that, so that it looks after that interest which I've got and get people connected right behind the scenes as well.
It reminds me, what you just said, it reminds me of a famous saying centuries ago by a famous poet called Rumi.
Hmm.
His famous saying is, what you are seeking is seeking you.
Yeah, what you're saying. Wow,
Okay?
very, very well
So, so he, I don't think, said it in terms of social media,
said.
but that's exactly how social media works.
That's true.
Okay?
That's
The
true.
more
That's
you
true.
look at something, the more you look at Ukraine news, the more you look at furniture pieces, the more you look at buying your Mercedes or BMW, whichever car you're looking for, media remembers and it will bring it to you.
That's
Social
right.
media will bring all the things that you touch in your scrolling, in your engagements, will make sure they keep bringing it more and more to you because they know now this is where your interest lies. So let's show it. So I think when Rumi said what you're seeking is seeking you, was not in this
It was
context,
not
but it
social media.
applies 100% to this.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know what we talked about last time? One of the topics was about artificial intelligence. We will go deviate a little bit of topic, but that's also one of the things. You are searching for something, and automatically now with this, with the bots and things, like you're able to see them not only on one social media platform, but on multiple social media platforms. For
Correct.
example, if I search something on Facebook today, and once I go to my Insta page, I can see it on Insta stories, Instagrams, and things like that. So it follows you all the way on that. So coming back to the numbers part and the views part of it. Now, one way of view talking was about the social media connectivity. Second part is that how effective is social media in terms of people who are looking to market themselves. And it could be related to anything on that. And how do you what are your views on that?
Yusuf, this has completely changed the game of how people connect.
Yeah,
Not too long ago, newspapers were far more relevant, right?
yeah,
Billboard ads,
yeah.
different kind of, we would see ads of, and let's take real estate as an example.
That's
So
right.
real estate agents would make sure that their face and their name and the phone number is displayed in prominent
Yeah,
places. And the intent was to get lots of eyeballs. Okay, the
that's
term
right.
was how many eyeballs do we get? How
Yeah,
many, what
yeah,
is the readership of a newspaper? What is the circulation of a newspaper? That game has changed so much that we have seen a huge drop in subscription of newspapers,
yeah.
the traditional, and now people have shifted to social media to get their news, their information. And now, more so than before, you can personalize.
Yes,
See,
yes.
newspaper, I could not personalize. Say, okay, I only
That's
like
right.
looking at this. I only want this kind of news. I would
True.
just take a newspaper, throw half the sections out, which I never read,
Agreed. Yeah.
and only read the sections that were relevant for me. Well, social media has helped us reduce that wastage.
Yeah.
Okay? And we just go straight to what we really need to look at. Now, in terms of marketing, your question was, Haroon, how is marketing changing because of that? Well, the main purpose of marketing is to make sure we create an awareness
Yeah.
and guide people who want information, product, anything to follow a path. It's called customer journey,
Yeah.
to a call to action or to get a product, etc. Right? So,
That's right.
so journey starts from various stages and has multiple milestones as it goes along. But everyone at some stage is consuming something. Okay,
That's
to
right.
say nobody is consuming anything is a lie. We are
That's
all
true.
consuming something. Okay,
Yes.
whether we are
Yes.
consuming at grocery store, whether we are that's why we call consumers, right?
Yeah.
Whether we are choosing to buy, and all these choices that an individual has to make can be guided through marketing.
That's right.
Okay, a
That's
lot
right.
of people don't like to say, hey, I don't want to be influenced. I don't. Well, I'm sorry, everybody gets influenced, whether they get
Yes.
influenced by their grandmother, whether
Yes.
they get influenced by their parents' teachings, or
That's
they get
right.
influenced by certain ads.
Yeah.
That all the information that our mind takes in eventually helps us decide on what we're going to choose.
True. True. Very
Okay,
true.
this is just human nature. If everybody is going to watch Batman movie, the chances are
You enjoyed the Batman movie, yes.
enjoying the Batman movie, the chances are that it will create curiosity among others
Yes.
to be a part of that Batman movie.
True. True.
Now,
True.
guess what will happen on social media? Social media, if let's say you're trying to get people to go watch Batman movie, we'll have people discussing Batman movie.
Yeah.
It will be trending on social media.
True.
It will be hashtag, whatever about it, good, bad, whatever people's opinions are. People who have watched the movie will be looking at reviews. People who want to watch it will be looking at trailers of them.
That's right.
So
That's
where
right.
is that happening? It's all happening on social media.
That's true. That's
Okay?
true. That's true.
YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, you name it. So
That's true.
how do they vary? So Facebook has a much wider audience, and you can see practically now all generations from grandparents to grandchildren, everybody is on it. Okay,
Yeah.
it has a much wider appeal, and it has somehow or the other created people less engaging because they want specialized kind of social media.
That's right.
So we saw the birth of Instagram. Now, all of them at the end of the day may be owned by the same group company,
That's right.
whether it's Alphabet on the Google side or Meta on the Facebook side.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, but the intent of cross-platform is they're creating niche platforms for the relevant clients. So Instagram is allowing you to do personal branding.
Yeah.
Started with pictures, then pictures became videos, videos became stories,
Yeah.
okay, and now messaging, etc.
And now your followers, the followers, how many followers you can increase on that. Very, very, very nicely said about personal branding. Now, again, when I talk about personal branding, from the real estate perspective, for realtors or for a company for branding, how important is personal branding? How important is branding by itself through social media?
Okay, purpose of branding, Yusuf, as you very well know, is so that people know what you stand for.
Yes.
You can stand out from a crowd
Yeah.
and people can immediately tell what you stand for. That's your brand.
True.
Historically, we would have business cards. People would put their picture on it. Most realtors, because they want you to be remembered and
Yeah.
recalled.
Yeah.
In Canada, just take Canada's example, there's an estimated 150,000 real estate agents. This is
That's
the
right.
number by Canadian Real Estate
Yeah.
Association.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ontario has at least half of that
That's right.
membership.
That's
Okay?
right. That's true. That's
And
true.
then you divide it further into Toronto. I would say Toronto has about 70 odd thousand real
That's
estate agents out of that.
that's true. Very, very
Okay.
right. Very right numbers. Yeah.
Now, to me, just as a person who is looking at it from the outside, I look at statistics of like, oh, okay, 120,000 homes were sold
Yeah.
in last year, right?
Yeah.
And there are 70,000 real estate agents.
That,
How do you stand? I mean, it's like, not even two per agent, two properties per agent, if you really look at
that's
it.
right. That's right.
Okay.
That's right. Yeah.
Now, the question is, how do we stand out? How do we brand ourselves? So this is very important for the real estate agents to know. And for real estate agents to get social media to work for them, they need to be active on social media.
That's
Okay?
right. Very nice.
And once they become active, their brand gets known. So let's say Mr. XYZ. Let's pick Mr. Jack Welch or John Malone
Yeah.
or whatever name you want to.
Yeah.
So Mr. John Malone, and let's pick a neighborhood, Oakville, for example.
Yeah.
Does he create an awareness on social media where he talks about what's happening in the neighborhood? What are
That's
the
right.
things that are developing? What are the things that are changing? So people who have an interest in Oakville as a neighborhood start following John Malone.
That's right.
And John Malone does not have to always list properties to get attention.
Yeah. Yeah.
He just needs to talk about something that he thinks is relevant for his audience. So people will become his followers. People will say, you know what, I really want to know what's happening in Oakville, Mississauga, Burlington, or whichever neighborhood he's covering, or a she, it could be Jane Malone, anybody,
Yeah, yeah,
is covering, and we can have that following, and that creates that brand awareness and their specialization. So next time when they list any sale or any product, they can get that attention that they need, the engagement for people to say, hey, John Malone has just listed a new property. So now I'm going to go check that out because it's relevant.
that's right. That's right.
Okay.
That's right. That's right. That's right. So very nice point you touched on is the consistency about doing something on social media. If you are not consistent, then you will probably from the audience perspective or your followers perspective, you will lose that. So, very rightly you said, Haroon, it's not always has to be related directly just for yes neighborhood you're talking about it. And let's talk about more to real estate perspective. If you are doing a real estate marketing, you are talking about a specific neighborhood and things like that. At the same time, even if you are getting connected with the neighborhood on different topics, which may not be directly related to real estate, that is also a form of marketing where people will start recognizing you on that. Very important point which you touched is in terms of the viewership as well. Once you are already doing something consistently, when you list a property or you have a new project come in, people will start relating it directly towards you. So one thing which I tell to all of our new agents who join us, and I tell them that IQI Global Real Estate, we are so active on social media. I'm sorry I have to bring this in on that because the reason is that because we are so active and in terms of our PR reach by itself for IQI Global by itself is between 1 billion to 2 billion eyeballs every month. So I tell my agents who are on social media or not active on social media either as well. I tell them, you know what, you need to be on social media because when people start recognizing you. So I just need to add here. So our team is getting a bit is getting bigger. So got a team of Mandarin and Cantonese speaking agents who joined us, and they have always been so active on social media, but that's been on the WeChat of all that. And now they are so active on Facebook Live that it's really amazing. And what I want to tell you is that one of the properties from our agents had, and he was trying to sell it. And right now the market is very hot. Last year, about a couple of months, the market got a little bit softened up on that. So, one of our platforms which we use is the Facebook live show. So there we
Right,
did a
right.
property live show tour, which was done in Mandarin. And guess what? They found a buyer who was Mandarin speaking from
Excellent.
and that neighborhood was not a Mandarin speaking neighborhood. You know what I mean? The impact of social media, the impact of consistency, the impact of marketing yourself on that. So yeah, so I'm just took a little bit off the track, but
See, no, no, this is key. This what you have said is what this whole thing is about. The audience,
yeah,
okay? Audience by the name is the culture they bring, the language they speak. Okay, engagement is much higher if you're speaking in the customer's language.
that's
Okay,
right. That's right.
so there's absolutely no shame in saying, well, what is the whole purpose?
Yeah,
The person who is looking to buy something is getting right support from the person who's helping them buy it.
that's right.
That's the intent. I personally think marketing is fabulous because it helps achieve objectives of two individuals,
That's true.
right? Buyer and seller, and the person who's helping them achieve that objective. So
That's
it's
true.
perfectly on the spot on that one. Now I'm going to give it a trick, and if there are real estate agents watching this show, I think they should write this trick down. Uh, so you know what happens where some of the uh, individual personalities have huge amount of following,
Yeah.
okay,
Yes.
and you're a new real estate agent, you don't really have that much following yet,
Yeah.
okay. So there's a sneak in technique to ride on the tail of the successful people is when you comment
Mm-hmm.
and you have in your signature your link,
Yeah. Oh, nice. Okay.
you are able to coattail on the back of a high follower
Amazing.
page.
Amazing tip.
Okay,
Amazing
so
tip. Very nice. Guys, note this tip. This is really a very good tip.
so a lot of people don't realize that if they themselves cannot generate the following,
Yeah.
then join the leaders
That's right.
whom you can follow and comment something on it and embed your signature on it.
That's true.
Okay?
That's true.
So
That's
there are
true.
many tricks like these. If
Very
you're an expert digital marketing person, you can learn tips here and there and say, how do I create audience? How do I talk about things which are topical? How do I talk about things which are relevant? Now, IQI does that fantastically
yeah.
globally by far.
Yeah.
We have a team of specialists
Yes.
who regularly look at the social media. So there's a social media listening team, which is
Yeah.
looking at what's trending, what's hot, what's big topical. It's like catch the wave. And if there is certain things which are going to get attention, people are topical about it. How do you talk about that content? You bring in that relevance. Consistency, like you said, is
Yeah.
very important.
Yeah.
Active engagement, whether it's directly related to selling real estate or something which is tertiary to real estate, equally important. If there's a change in um, school districts, right?
Yeah.
Talk about that. Okay.
True.
If there is a new social hall opening up somewhere, talk
Yes.
about
Yes.
that. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
New hospital opening, talk about that. Okay. People are interested in listening, and that social media also recognizes the content producers as
That's
an
right.
important source. So the activity helps generate more leads.
The,
Now, this topic is vast, okay,
yeah.
and this is nonstop. But the main message for all real estate agents and audience is to get the right level of information. You have to be part of an active engagement with social media. If you're passive, you may have a hit and miss, okay,
Yes. Yes. Agreed.
but
Absolutely.
active. And if you ask agents, and especially the ones who are $1 million producers, okay, the big
Yeah.
ones,
Yeah.
okay, they all have very strong social media strategy and presence.
Absolutely. 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 Having said that, the what you were just talking about, the company by itself, the IQI, and us on that, like, different countries, different social media platforms are being used depending on where you are going on that. And it just reminds me of, Jawai.asia, Jawai.com, which is, our Mandarin and English website for reaching global global consumers, global investors on that. We have a reach of close to about 13 million active users every month. So obviously there's a consistency which has been built up, which has been going on for quite some time that builds upon that. So, coming back to the new realtors or even the realtors who have been in business, who have been probably doing it, I mean, honestly speaking, now from I've been in business for over 12 years, 13 years now, and the kind of door hangers we used to see on my doors of junk mail which used to come into my mailbox, all of a sudden that level has quite dropped quite a bit on that,
And
because
thank God for that.
yes,
That was
thank
such
God
a
for that.
nuisance.
You take it and you garbage, you take it and you garbage, because even that also required a lot of consistency of doing it in and out every week on a monthly basis and things like that, just to keep that going on, to build up interest. Finally somebody actually looks at it on that and on that, and again the nuisance of really taking that and putting it directly into the garbage
Well,
and all that.
for me, as a somebody, I don't like this kind of paper because
Yes,
this paper is destroying our trees and our planet.
true, true.
So purely from that sustainability perspective, I'm not trying to take away somebody's earning and living on that
Yeah,
one, but it's
yeah.
a different way. Maybe the one that consumes less paper is perhaps a better way to sustain the business.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Haroon, I mean, as you said, this is such a vast topic. Just talking about the social media by itself and different platforms. Definitely, this is one of the most important and strong tool for people to market themselves, for people to connect with each other. At the same time, I think going forward, the future of it with new things like, as you said, like Snapchat, right? I mean, I was never active on Snapchat, but my kids are very active on Snapchat on that. So they said, you know what, Dad, you got even Snapchat. And I realized they've actually made a group within ourselves to be on Snapchat. So these are the different social media platforms which have come, and I think going in future we will see a lot more, different platforms coming up. If you are in any sort of a business, you are in real estate business as well, you got to be active, you got to be consistent, you got to keep up with the trends, you got to keep up with the technology. Otherwise, as they say, right, if you are not keeping with the technology, you will be left out, unfortunately. Anything you want to
Well,
add, Haru? Yeah.
yeah, well, I'm going to finish it with one more important point. Some of my friends who are in sales, uh, they are hesitant when we talk about numbers, right? Because real estate marketing, and especially social media marketing, is a lot of metrics driven marketing. And there are a lot of
That's right.
numbers they need to pay attention to.
That's
And I
right.
said, if you care about the numbers in your bank account,
Yes.
you better start paying attention to those numbers.
Very well said. Very well
Yeah.
said.
Okay,
Great.
so
Thank
we
you.
will continue
Mhm.
talking more about social media, perhaps on our subsequent sessions. I think we touched upon just part of it right now,
Yeah. Yeah.
but there is, like we were both saying, it's a vast topic, and it can get very technical if we get into more detail. But for all the agents and all the audiences who are looking, active social media engagement can produce great results for
Thank you very much, Haroon. Audience who are watching us, if you have any other topics you want us to discuss, the good thing about this Meeple Mondays is that we always come up with a different topic, touching up different aspects of industries, different things like artificial intelligence. We talked about the careers. We have been talking about so many topics, and there's so many nice topics which has been lined up as well. So do follow us. If you have any questions or comments, please put it on your comment box, and we would love to see you guys. Thank you so much, Haroon, and thank you
Thank
so much
you.
for your time as well. And I'll see you next
Thank you for
month on Maple
inviting me.
Mondays.
I've always enjoyed these sessions. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye.
Cheers. Bye bye.